So here we go, game number 2. And the bands are pretty similar to game number 1. We have 43rd though, as we are on the other Orsha now. We are on Orsha North. Task Force 45. DFL banned this time by Bowser. Doesn't want to play against it on this map. 43rd, so yeah, we have 5 and 5 in band. No, 6 and 5 actually. 6 and 4 in bands actually this time. More bands on the Soviet divisions, including 26 guards. So 28 Jaeger, 78 Storm, 4th Vulture Maker, 17th SS band for the Axis, and then 97th, 2nd US Infantry, 43rd Strelky Division, and Task Force 45, and 26 guards, and DFL band for the Allies. And that's why we this time have an Axis division here in the hands of our Rommel, as we see the lovely Krupa Harteneck, a division that got a lot of buffs over the last couple of patches, and now is one of the best Axis divisions out there. Has Martyrs, has Stews, has 20mm autocannons with the little Panzer IIs here, the VK901, has Tigers, which are pretty solid now, solid anti-tank gun, and thanks to the flak feeling buff, also decent AA. Still not great AA, but decent AA. What's on the other side? We have ElBowser, one of my favorite divisions of all time. It's none other than the 3rd EA VDV. And this is obviously an amazing CQC division. Great at putting pressure onto the enemy. He brings it in with Vanguard as well. Only big question that I have to ask is, where is the smoke off map? But no smoke off map here, it seems, from the start. PTRS, Ognovachiki, coming in here in good numbers. Some Desert Nikki DT. The DT buff really helped out this division. In general, still a really strong division. Stomaviki and Stomaviki Rocks, good units as well. Valentine here as the only tank. Great tank destroyer. Only issue is that it's not a fast tank, which obviously in a division that is all about speed is a bit weird. And not quite as amazing. On the other side, we see a lot of armor. We see VKs, we see Martyrs, we see Stews, we see T-34. Nice. So, yeah, big question is, how will ElBowser deal with those? M42s coming here around from the get-go. And a lot of units moving into the center of the map. And defensive start here in the north for the beginning, as we have Harteneck on Maverick. Should be an interesting one. No smoke off map, though, is a bit of a disappointer here. I hope we will see that in this game, as we have Stomaviki Rocks coming in. VDV is from the first Romanian DLC. Stoßtruppen coming around, Panzer Grenadier, Reiter Jägers, the Bloody Sunday DLC, I think it is. Stoßtruppen coming around, PTRS getting a kill onto one Stoßtruppen. Ognovachiki here getting in 2 versus only 1 Stoßtruppen, 3 versus only 1 Stoßtruppen, so they really should be able to get the kill there. Closing in on top of it, as the 20mm coming out though, so smoke will be needed. Smoke does pop, good reaction here from ElBowser up there. M42 here helping out against the Stoßtruppen in the open, Kozakin around there as well, as the VK is moving around. Valentine slowly moving up, another Valentine coming in over here, 37mm behind it to keep that M410 out of the sky. Maxime helping out against some infantry over here, and ElBowser up on the 59 you want to be in with grabbing these 3 flags. M42 getting some nice shots off as well, getting into all the positions in the center. Ersatz MG though, over time will deal with this one. But there's a lot of M42s all over the map. Maxime and Stomaviki Rocks in the south. Reiter Jäger MP44s, still pretty strong units. I'm a bit sad that we don't have Reiter Jäger MG42s in this, as I just played a lot with them in the latest upcoming... Oh, sorry, that was not what I wanted to do. In the latest upcoming DLC campaign, a unit that we sadly don't have in multiplayer, where you have 2 more MP40s and an MG42 instead of the Carabines. Could be a quite interesting unit for multiplayer division as well. Dejan Maxime coming around here for the center. PM38s and Dejan DT coming in good numbers. What's over here? The Dejaniki tried to get into the building here. PTR 41's trying to keep units at bay. SMG slowly moving forward. North. Big push coming in here. Sturmoviki rocks and Sturmovikis and the Dejaniki moving around. The Dejaniki camaraderie can allow for some nice smoke play as well. Really helpful leader here. As the Sturmoviki rocks, that's their one big weakness. They don't have smokes for themselves as the double flamer. More Sturmovikis coming in here for some cheap 20 points TNT. Dejaniki DT for helping out in the forest over here. And for now, the 59 of ElBowser does hold. So our blue player here, Farid Rommel, has to try to find a way in. Right, the Jaegers go down. One of them dying to the M42. Jaeger Pioneer finds the opening though. Will open up fire. 120mm mortar. Tries to engage back. M42 over here. Now up against the stew. Not an engagement at once. As it tries to help out in the center. As Farid Rommel is trying to push back here. Trying to get ElBowser off the 59. And that could work. The stew is a pretty big issue here. Not sure what ElBowser is planning to do about it. No AA in the center, so plane could do it. U2 bombers actually coming in here. No AA here as of now. And the units over here get behind the rear line. The Sturmoviki rocks though too close to these buildings and gets completely annihilated. Big miss micro by ElBowser. Throws the smoke, but way too late. And that is a big loss. That Sturmoviki rocks would have been so helpful against any counter push in the forest. The Sturmoviki is still strong, but not nearly as amazing. The U2 spam now going on as well. Getting some decent damage against these Huja rocks, but they will get the flag over here. Will stop this from being a 59. U2's meanwhile over here though will get a good hit against these Huja rocks. They will get even surrendered, so some nice hits, but only a 13-11 now for ElBowser. So not the quite strong take that we had before. 120mm mortars with radio trying to come in from the rear, but no radio units in front of it. And at that stage, it's only a normal 120mm mortar, which is not amazing. Gets good hits in here though. Hujarok's pretty clumped. Everything here gets hit quite nicely by this 120mm mortar so far. Gets another direct hit here on the Hujaroks. So good amount of hit point damage done by that one. IL-2 with anti-tank rockets coming in nicely. Getting a good hit on this stew. A 115 point unit. Relatively expensive for relatively mediocre rockets, but you get quite a couple of them, and the stew now pretty heavily damaged. So another one of these, another run would kill it. And it's for now forced to fall back. Might allow ElBowser to get this Valentine into a position where it can deal with it when it comes back. AA coming up now all around for Farid Rommel is needed. But it's relatively expensive. Flag over here for now hold by ElBowser, but it's back to a 12-12 thanks to the center being held now by Farid Rommel. Martyrs and Stews helping out big time there. Obviously the armor advantage on the side, especially on the long range for Farid Rommel. A reason why the smoke off map could be quite nice here. Hujarok's getting hit nicely by the 120mm mortar again here. As Maxime is ready, U2 still holding the line here. Lots more coming in the north. Trying to get some nice hits in. Especially against the Sujarok over here again. Trying to push that out of there. Trying to get the flag back. A couple of Dejaniki DT coming in as well. Couple more bombing runs into the north. Trying to deal with infantry all around. But the Flak 38s will come around, so these U2s might not be able to make it. AA coming in on the side of ElBowser now as well. I'm not quite sure what for. We haven't seen any planes on the other side, and he kind of wants to keep the pressure up. So I feel like an investment into a Yak 9T or so that can do strafing runs at the same time, whilst defending the U2s from enemy fighters that you can head on with it. Might have been a better idea. Hujaroks over here will fall though, and one of the U2s will get a bombing run as well, and will get a kill onto a Panzer Grenadier. Good kill there. So this U2 though most likely will go down. Oh, no, the second one does tank for it. Might allow this U2 to survive. Now this one is in trouble though. But yeah, for the one in the north gets out, and this one here has to get the hell out of there now as well. Radio mortar, thanks to Tejant Komrodi, one of the few radio leaders on the Soviet decks. Pretty nice for the help here in this match. Gets nice 120mm mortars into this town. ME410 flying around. And yeah, there's little anti-tank against this whole armored push in the north. Or rather, no AA, no AT whatsoever here for ElBowser. That's a problem. Dejan's here, also not in the most amazing spot. We'll find the Stoßtruppen though, which are still moving. And with 3 DTs, they do a good amount of damage. T-34 coming up. As PTRS get an Opal Blitz, Panzer Grenadiers somewhat heavily damaged. But yeah, Dejaniki should try to get these whilst sitting in buildings. The deal of the fight with the Huzaroks. T-34 is coming around, another U2 coming in as well. But the 20mm are around on the other side. 1410 now for ElBowser. And the issue with VDV is that it falls off in the late game, whilst Harteneck has a really good late game as well. Like, they have a pretty good all-round combined arms. One of their big strengths. 120mm mortar, able to get a tank here. Yeah, they deal damage with each hit. The big issue of 120mm mortar is their inaccuracy. Thanks to the radio, it's not quite as much of a problem. They are still not super pinpoint accurate, especially on longer ranges, but radio helps out a really, really big time with these kind of mortars. IL-2 now coming in for the north. 20mm are in the rear, but the rockets most likely will go off. As the T-34 is the target. And they should get off pretty accurately. Gets the T-34 killed. Dejaniki get killed off beforehand. But this might reconnect these two zones. As T-34s are coming in. There is a martyr still. 20mm mortar could help out with that. IL-2 takes some heavy damage here from the two 20mm AA pieces that flew directly above them. Most likely will survive, but it will be close. Yeah, we'll get the hell out of here. Meanwhile, slowly pushing, slow ongoing push here of Harteneck into this town again, trying to reclaim their ground, as ElBowser obviously doesn't want to give it up. We see more U2s coming in time and again. Could be pretty helpful maybe to do some damage now in the south, as that's the only space where there is no AA. In the center, I guess they could be used as well. There's a small gap here. As it's still a 1410, now even only a 1311 for ElBowser, so still no 59. And obviously in B phase that's a lot harder with Vanguard versus Maverick. So we'll most likely have to play the long game, and then you kind of want to play the airplay against Harteneck, as their AA, as I said, is decent. You get these 20mm and one cut of flak filling trucks, which thanks to flak filling buff and damage and flak filling availability buff is a lot more potent than it was back in the day. But it's still no easy thing. And yeah, we have a radio here for ElBowser, and so the 120mm mortar now is a lot more accurate. U2 this time will go down. Dejaniki trying to hold against the Huzaroks. The Dejan Komrodi under fire, needs to smoke off, needs to get the hell out of there. 120mm mortar trying to find the Sis-3 gun. As we are closing in on the 12-12 here, maybe. Ooh, we have the smoke-off map coming in now. Okay, there it is. Yeah, it would have been a shame if we wouldn't see it. Let's see what it can achieve. Some good smoke-off map here in the middle. Could be pretty great. Heinkel 111 on the other hand. Ooh, coming in with some hot bombing run onto the T-34s here. They tried to get the hell out of there. I'm not sure if they will get away. Okay, they will not be fully pinned down, but the T-34 with 1942 with better frontal armor is coming up. As the Dejaniki here tried to get desperately onto the Grenadier Führer, but will get eliminated. And the Martyr is around as well. Good amount of reinforcements coming in here. ElBowser really trying to make that push work. Smoke-off map is around. One more big push into the center maybe could do some damage. M42 here on the hill. U2 gun, U2 bomber trying to come in again. 20mm are still around though. Would be better advised to try to kill this Ersatz MG, for example. Like these units in the open, unprotected by AA. North is pretty well protected by AA, and the U2s most likely will die there. So let's see how this goes. Sturmoviki Rocks, another one coming into the south. Sturmoviki Rocks here could engage nicely against these Panzer Grenadiers. But as action is going on all across the map, I don't think this will be an easy job for ElBowser to do. Long range mortar fire here, raining down onto Farid Rommel. This 120mm mortar does a decent amount of damage. Another Panzer Grenadier half there. And in the north, Farid Rommel is a bit running out of infantry. He has 2 Grenadier Führers here next to each other. Obviously not the most effective use of Grenadier Führers. There's a Niki DTs here, closing in onto the flag over here. For now, 12-12. Obviously not optimal for ElBowser's long-term plans here. As the Sturmwiki Rocks move forward, Stoßtruppen in their way now as well. But they pushed back right a year. Together with the Maxim, they pushed back the Panzer Grenadiers. And they will keep on going here. Molotovs in their faces do hurt them, but for now they keep on going. Hujarok get eliminated over here. M42 now tries to deal with the T-34. Not effective at it yet. And I think this push might have been detected. And with a Tiger and a Stew in the center, this might not be the perfect place and time. Maybe try to come from the south and try to move these units. Sturmwikis can be really effective over here. Try to win both flanks. Try to wait for the center to overextend and hit it with airplay instead of going so aggressively for it. The AT rocket plane did some damage to the T-34, but modern T-34 still prevail here for now. Dejan Niki DT get killed off by the Hujarok Goliorsk. While Hujarok's moving around, Sturmwiki Rocks get found, and the Jaeger Pioneers make it in here. 13-11 now for Farid Rommel for the first time on the take. And the Panzer Grenadiers eliminate the Sturmwiki Rocks, which try to move further here as well. And yeah, this is not having great success chances in the center here, I would say. If ElBowser tries to push here, that doesn't sound like a great idea. Like holding the forests with CQC infantry sounds better. A lot of Dejan Niki coming in. I feel like this charge will have a really rough time. Like, the patch of max smoke is not big enough to cover the whole center here. And even if you get 2 consecutive ones out, where you then have to time it perfectly, because one of the batches will run out of smoke relatively early, so you have to really be quick then. Even 2 batches of smoke might not be enough to really cover this nicely. So I feel like doing this over here and then maybe using the smoke to push in from the south into the center would be a better idea, or trying to use it for the northern situation. To maybe go on top of all these tanks. Okay, smoke off map, yeah, it's trying to allow for that there now. Smoke 120mm mortar. It's trying to allow for that. And yeah, that's the right idea in my eyes, but I don't think that can be achieved in the center. Tiger and Stew around here. 120mm constantly firing. And we have a lot of Dejan Niki coming up here. Meanwhile, smoke off map being called in. More Dejan Niki unloaded. Right, the Jaeger MP44 moving in the north. Dejan Niki DT holding the line. Good engagement here. Dejan Niki getting a good kill, but they didn't quite get on top of the vehicles. Panzer Grenadiers do protect them pretty nicely. And the VDV here in a bit of trouble. Soviet airborne forces not quite getting to the places they want to go. Okay, off-map smoke is now dropping. Maybe this one should help out with more smoking back here. But another smoke off-map is needed. You can't... This is not enough smoke, not even close. Yeah, these 2 mortars need to help out, and then another off-map... Yeah, like, you can cover this completely in white, I guess, with 2 mortars and another off-map. But you have to start now. Yeah, next off-map smoke coming in, and these mortars have to drop their smoke as well. Maybe onto this. Huh? What was... Oh no. ElBowser messed it up. ElBowser messed it up. Okay, we have another mortar shot coming in. This one needs to get the hell firing as well. They still try to get the SIS-3 gun. As more units move around here. 59 now for Farid Rommel. This is not great. In the north, Dejan Niki DT holding against the Jaeger Pioneers. But no anti-tank around here. for the red side. No T-34s. Heinkel 111 bomber being devastating against the Dejaniki DT. Panzer 3N versus Dejaniki DT in the forest going pretty good as well. Dejaniki DT being beaten as the 20mm move forward. Marder moving in as well. Dejaniki DT getting wiped out. And this is not looking good for our Austrian player here. It looks like Farid Rommel is on a good way. Hell of a lot of Dejaniki now rolling forward. This 2-gun gets evaporated. And the smoke, yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. Like, you can't use the smoke off map like that. It just disappears at the totally wrong moment. Oh no. And all the long range fire is now on top of it. And we might see a tap out here now of ElBowser relatively soon. I mean, if these units might be getting through to the Tiger, that could work, but there's still a lot of Ersatz MGs to force the units out. There's still some good anti-tank guns all around here. So, yeah, only 3 units remaining. Tiger is already disengaging. This is not working out. I mean, at least this yours got caught at the wrong moment at the wrong time, but all the other Panzergrenadiers and Huzaroks creating such a field of death over here. And yeah, all units out of their transports now. Heinkel 111 coming in with a devastating bombing attack. IL-2 will try to make the run for it. AA all down. Yeah, airplay I think could have been the way back here for ElBowser. Airplay plus the 120mm mortars firing onto enemy AA. But this smoke Dejaniki play was a big misinvestment at the wrong place. And ElBowser pretty much in shambles here now. 17-7. But he's on the defense everywhere. We're about to go to C phase at least, so Farid Rommel will lose his amazing B phase Maverick income. And it will be ElBowser with slightly better income, but it's just so hard to use with VDV. Their late game is not amazing. You don't level up with them. They have great early game, and they have a solid like affordable combined arms, really cost efficient with IL-2s, with T-34s, with really great 15-point infantry with the Dejaniki, especially if you use them with the smoke, and solid affordable artillery with the 120mm as well. And then another nice cheap tank with the Valentine. That is a good tank destroyer. The Valentine Mark 9. But you don't have any heavy thing. You don't have any great 2000 meter range. You don't have any great heavy tank that can kill Tigers. And the anti-tank guns are pretty decent, but they are also not like super amazing. This is 2 guns. The L2 is trying to get to the Tiger, but there's flak feelings now. They won't get through, and yeah, all of this infantry here is just dead. All of these infantry units just completely died, and there's still all the infantry here left for Farid Rommel. It's an 18-6 now, and I guess we're going to game number 3 here in the semi-final of Division 2 of Steel Division League Season 9. 120mm. Yeah, tries to get on over here, but Farid Rommel takes it in game number 2 here. Great game. And great hold against the push. ElBowser, good start there. Gets the 59 in the right places, but wasn't able to deal with the armor at all. Like, the armor just absolutely wrecked him, and then that push was just ill-advised. I mean, he wanted to use the smoke off map, but that was not the place. That's not the point where you want to use that smoke off map. The flanks might have been better for that. So, yeah, GGVP to Farid Rommel, evening it out, and leading us to a decider match in this best of 3. Whoever wins the next match will go on to the finals of Division 2. That's going to be interesting. Will ElBowser be able to make it back to Division 1 once more, or will Farid Rommel join Cares in Division 1, and we will have 2 Foxes next season? We will see in a second.